Hello and welcome to my channel Making Crafts. Today I am working on a Christmas in July project, and this is a couple of stamp sets and dies that I'm going to be using for this project. And I'm also going to be using this glue, Best Glue Ever from ScraPerfect. I have put some of this glue out on an index card and I'm just painting it onto my Christmas trees. And when I stamped these Christmas trees, I did use a water-based ink, so I'm just adding a little bit of glue with the brush. And so the first one that I did, I coated the entire tree, but gently did it so that I did not smear the ink. And then for the next one, I am just adding a little bit of glue just to the edges and a little bit on different little, highlighting just different little spots in the center of the tree. And so I did that for the other one that I laid aside as well. I just highlighted a few spots. And so this glue dries fairly quickly when you're just painting just a little bit on like this. And that's what I want it to be, mostly dry when I do this. And I'm adding just a little bit of glitter. And this is just a very fine glitter that I'm adding to the trees. And it's just to give a little bit of highlight, like a little snow effect to the trees. And so once I cover them in glitter, I am just shaking them off and then let them aside. And then I'm going to take, once I think that they're good and dry, I take them and I just wipe them really good with my finger. And you can see there that the color's changing. It's just leaving the glue, it's just leaving the glitter on the glue and removing it, all the excess off. And I didn't want a lot of glitter falling off. I want to get as much off as possible. And so now I'm trying to show you a close-up, and I know it's really hard to see on camera, but it looks really good, the glitter does. It just highlights the little areas where I did paint on the glue. And so I really like how this worked with this glue. And ScraPerfect sent this glue to me to try out, and so this is one way I found to use it. And here's another couple of sets of dies that I'm using for this. And like I was saying, ScraPerfect sent this glue to me to try out, and so this is one way I found to use it, was to add the glitter to the trees, because when it dries clear, it's still sticky, and I was able to add the glitter and the glitter stay on that way. And so with some of the other glues, when you try that, it doesn't work as well. So I really like this glue for adding the glitter. And so now I am just cutting out of a piece of paper the landscape, and then I have cut out the little doily shape, and I've cut out two of those, and one of them I cut a complete circle out of the center of the little doily so that I can use that as my frame. And then I've cut out a blue circle as well for my backdrop. And so I'm just adding the Christmas trees that I stamped and cut out. And one tree you can see is darker than the other. And so what I did was I stamped that tree, and then I just stamped off using the ink that was left on the stamp so that it gave a little lighter effect, so that the second Christmas tree can look like it's in the background of the scenery, so it's further away. And so I like to do that sometimes to give a different effect when I'm making cards and different things. And so this is a simple, quick little project. I'm just going to glue the little trees down and my little landscape down. And here I'm just adjusting my landscape. And so I don't trim the landscape until I have it exactly where I want it and I have it glued down. And so in order to glue it down, I just start gluing with the top, and then I'm just going to add it, and then I will add glue underneath after I trim it off. So once it's trimmed, I will add some glue to attach the landscape to the circle. And so now I'm just going to add one of the little trees that I glittered up. And then I'm going to be adding the little deer on there as well. And for the little deer, it has little thin antlers, so he is a little harder to glue on, so you just have to be careful to be sure to get glue on all those little bits and pieces of his little antlers. So once you have him glued up, just add him to the scenery. and he is tall enough that he's having to hang off, so I'm going to have to trim him up just like I did the landscape as well. And then these little stars came in the stamp set, and so I stamped those and cut those out, and I'm just adding them to the sky as well. And some of the stamps are darker and light, and then some are lighter, and I just did the same thing as I did with the trees. I would stamp and then stamp off the excess ink to make the lighter star. And that way, when you do that, you don't have to have a lighter and darker ink. You can just use one ink and get two shades out of it. And so now I'm going to add my little scenery circle to the solid doily, the one where the center isn't cut out. So I'm just going to center it up there and add it. And then I am adding some acetate to the little doily piece that I cut the center out of. And so I just cut the acetate as well with my Big Shot, but it didn't cut all the way through, so I had to trim it with scissors as well. And I just cut out another doily piece and cut a circle out of the center, and I am going to sandwich it in between the acetate frame piece and the design piece. This way I'm adding a little thickness, since I'm kind of making this like a little shaker ornament, but I'm not adding, typically when I make a shaker ornament, I do add foam tape to make it have more depth so that the glitter and the little snowflakes and things that I put inside can move around. But for this one, it's going to be a little tighter fit, so it's not exactly going to be a complete shaker ornament like you're used to making, but I like this little effect, and the little pieces in it still moved. You just don't put as many in it, and you make sure that what you put in it is very thin so that it has a little room to move around. And if you wanted it to be thicker so that you could add more glitter and thicker objects inside there, then you could just continue to layer the little framed pieces on top of each other, and it would add to the thickness of it, since foam tape will not work with these little scalloped frames. And so now I'm just adding a few snowflakes, and I add a little bit of glitter inside as well. And I don't add as much as I normally would into my shaker cards. And so I'm attaching the frame that has the acetate already glued to it. And when I attach it, I press down really hard and make sure that each one of the scallops is attached really well. And you want to do this so you're certain that your snowflakes and your glitter does not come out. So just continue to press until it's dried. And here is the final ornament before I add the ribbon. This is the little ornament. I think it turned out really cute. So now I am just stamping a sentiment for the front of it. And this sentiment came in the set. It was Happy Holidays. So I stamp it, and then I just fussy cut it out and add some foam tape to the back of it because I want it to stand out just a little bit. And then I'm going to just attach it to the bottom of the little ornament. And then I attach some ribbon and I tie a little bow, so this can be hung as a little ornament. Or you could attach this to a card and have it where it's use some removable tape where someone could remove it, and then they would have an ornament. And here is the Christmas tree with the glitter, and this is the ScraPerfect Best Glue Ever that I used to add the glitter to the trees. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and bye.